Hi guys, it's Darshi from the House of Orbs, and I wish you peace, love, and joy. So, creatives, I know I haven't been on YouTube very much. It's not because I don't love you, I love you very much, and I do appreciate that you watch my videos. I know I'm only speaking to a very few of you, and that is not the reason why I haven't been posting. Please understand that I am completely and utterly only there for you, and these videos are something that I do just for you, just because I want to share my creative journey, and I want to share with you this idea of what I've discovered, which is the power of living within the frequency of peace, love, and joy. Because honestly, I'm not looking for fame or fortune, trust me on this, because touch wood, I don't have to worry about money. And I have plenty of love, so I don't need anybody's love from out there, because one thing for sure, I love myself, and that's the best love you could get. And the other thing is, I'm surrounded by people who love me on a daily basis. So I'm not looking for your attention or your love. I'm definitely not trying to peddle my paintings, because seriously, I've been painting forever and I never intended to sell them ever. I don't want to sell them half the time and that's why I'm selling my prints. But even so, if you don't want them, honestly, it doesn't matter, because I'm quite well off. It's not that I'm struggling for food or lodging or anything, and I'm not saying that in an arrogant way, I'm just saying that as fact. And fame, as for fame, goodness me, I have no problem walking away from fame. When I was younger, I had the opportunity to be famous. I mean, okay, I'll just show you something, okay? This is me, and there's the model wearing my design for Pacifica. This was 1998, and that was the second time that I basically won the show. That was when I won the Supreme Award at the show. The previous year, I had won the Young Designers Award. I had entered a number of designs that year, and one of them, which is this one, didn't get through, and I suck. They didn't choose my design. And then I had also entered another design which got selected. I didn't really put as much effort into that as I did to that one, but you know, it got through. Actually, it's interesting. This bit here, that was actually made with the bottoms of jeans, you know, that my mom cut off. You know, she used to be a dressmaker and she would do all alterations. That was her bread and butter income. And she would, you know, cut off the jeans of clients to make them shorter. And my grandmother, my my wonderful, wonderful grandmother. I know she's an angel watching over me, and she took those jeans, those bottoms, and she started sewing them together to make pillowcases. And I saw that they had these beautiful patterns, you know, and I was like, oh, that's just gorgeous, you know, Atama, that's what I used to call her. And I said, let me, you know, do something with that. And I turned it into a design, this sort of half skirt. And at the time, pedal pushers were super fashionable. So I teamed it up with pedal pushers, and I made this see-through top, this mesh top, and I put, you know, white shells across here because it was Pacifica. It had to have like a Pacific theme. And I put these really, really large platform shoes, and I glued those shells around that. Anyway, the whole kit was amazeballs. I mean, it was really beautiful. I can't believe that. I didn't realize how good it was. So the designers who were judging thought it was amazing and decided that it won the show. So I won the category which it was entered, which was Young Designer. I won that, and then I won the overall show. And the prize for that was, I'm sorry if I'm rambling, but anyway, the prize for that was a full year scholarship to the fashion school in Auckland. And yeah, so people had a lot of expectations of me. And, you know, Pavement magazine put me on their Millennium edition along with the director of The Lord of the Rings, and said, you know, this is before The Lord of the Rings came along and was put out. He was still making the movies, and I was still a sapling fashion designer, and said, oh, you know, she's going to be, you know, one of the top 100 people to look out for in New Zealand in terms of, you know, she's going to do something with her career. And did I? No, because, you know, I write about this in my blog, Throwback Thursday, how I left it all. I gave it all up. I actually had my own shop, and this is like atelier, as I like to call it, my design workshop. And these were some of the flyers that I still hold on to. I don't know why, but you know, nostalgia. This is my muse, Delaney, and you know, a lot of my designs were designed, you know, for her, and in the sense was inspired by her. She's a beautiful girl. She actually she went on to become a feature film movie actress. So that was me, and I moved away from all that. And what am I doing? I don't really want it back. I have no ambition of wanting that back. But what I do want is to be able to make my voice heard and use my ability to impress you enough, my talents to impress you enough to want to listen to me, because what my intention is, I want to let you know the importance of living in the frequency of peace, love, and joy. What does that mean? That means believing in that, you know, subscribing to that, following that ideal, following that intention, wanting that for your life there are so many reasons, why you wouldn't want to believe in that. Because I get emails now that I've started my page and I've been peddling this peace, love, and joy thing. People are looking at me and going, "You have no idea. I'm struggling with this illness. I had a wife who committed suicide, or my husband left me." And these are real messages. These are real people. These are real lives. And they're thinking what you're saying is unrealistic. This is not what I see. This is not what I see. I'm working on this. I'm working on truly living this ideal. And I believe in it. And I believe it's possible for you too. There are simple things that you could follow on a daily basis. One thing for sure is not comparing. I do believe in the power of living in the frequency of peace, love, and joy. And you don't get peace, love, or joy when you constantly compare your life to others, because everyone's life is their own hemisphere. They live in their own bubble, and they do create that bubble for themselves. And I do feel that each and every one of us, you only need to hear the inspiring. If you see anybody with your color, creed, religion, making it and doing it and being successful at life, then that's your permission slip to know that whatever you believe in, whatever you're following, you can have an amazing life. You don't have to compare what you're doing with other people and say, "Oh, well, what you're doing is wrong. What you're doing isn't working for me." Just find what works for you and do that. Don't compare. So that's the number one thing. Please, set the intention of having peace, love, and joy. That means every day that you wake up, remember that you are so fortunate to be alive, and that you do have a choice in how you live and how you perceive the world. And depending on what you choose, your life is going to reflect that back to you. I don't care, what situation that you have been in the past. I believe that today you can start making that change. And it does start with that old annoying thing that everybody says, think positive. And think positive is not possible unless you interrupt your old patterns, interrupt those old ways of thinking. And one thing, the most powerful way that you can interrupt your old ways of thinking is going into a state of mindfulness, meditation. Figure it out, guys. I mean, there are tons and tons of ways of getting into mindfulness and into a meditative space, because once you practice that enough, you become more self-aware and you start changing your thought patterns, those ingrained thought patterns that keep bringing up the same situation in your body. If you're suffering from illness, in your reality, if you're having, bad relationships, etc. So I do believe that the answer to all your problems start from changing what's in here, the mind, how you're thinking, and becoming more about the heart, expanding your heart so you live with more compassion, more love, forgiveness, especially to yourself. Because when you expand your heart, you stop criticizing others, you stop judging others, you stop caring what other people are thinking about you, because you don't have negative thoughts about other people. And that makes it super easy not to care about what other people are thinking. So guys, creatives, my love to you all. And I didn't realize that lamp was right behind my head. It probably looked like I'm growing a horn out of my head. But yeah, I'm out. I'm gonna bounce. Bye guys. Hope to see you next time.